Hi, I'm Jerry McLaughlin with Special Ops. Thank you for watching. YouTube is scrubbing records of conservative dissent. No duh. But YouTube is exempt from laws due to Section 230. So Trump is fighting for YouTube and Facebook and other tech giants to be subject to the same standards as the rest of the news media. Oh, they hide behind the fact that they say they're a platform. But a platform does not have a point of view. A platform is just something that allows you to use it like a tool, like a hammer or something. But Facebook is like a hammer with a brain. YouTube is like a, a jigsaw with a brain, with artificial intelligence, putting algorithms out there that if you see something pro-Trump or saying there's something wrong with the election or whatever, they scrub it and they get away with it. So Trump vetoed even a military raise, but he had to because they slip in this diabolical stuff along with these things. So you vote for what you want and you're stuck with what you don't want. Well, YouTube, for what it's worth, took down a number of my videos. One of them had 2.5 million views. You may have seen it. It was called Obama, False Hope, False Messiah. The thing is, it's been up there for 7 years. Didn't change a thing. Didn't change one letter. Didn't re-edit it. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, they take it down. I mean, you could be living with somebody in California for 7 years and you're considered married, because they have laws about 7 years. Somebody's gone 7 years, illegally dead. You're living with somebody for 7 years, you're legally married. I've got a video that I didn't change at all with YouTube and it's gone. And they're above the law. There's nothing you can do about it because 230. So Trump is right for attacking 230. We must attack it too. I mean, you can't just tell me that YouTube found this video. I can understand if they take it down while Obama was in office. It was just a satirical essay, which, by the way, YouTube says they allow satire and artistic expression. That's what it was. Pieces of art, satire, and commentary. Those are the things you're supposed to keep up. But they took it down. And now their excuse is that's not suitable for kids. It's like, wait a minute. I'll just change the box. I go there to click the box. It won't let me change it. And they say, you have opted that this was suitable for children. Yeah, I have for the last 7 years because they added this new thing about kids sometime within the 7 years, but they don't allow me to change it. And then if you want to argue, they say, oh, it's against our community standards. What are your community standards? They send you a bunch of gobbledygook about community standards, which means nothing. Well, and it doesn't have to because they're above the law, 230. So they're literally clamping down on conservatives, USSR style. For those of you who are younger viewers, essence or the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, USSR. It was a communist regime. From your history books, wait a second, it was probably stricken from your history books. And any opposition to a globalist, socialist, Marxist, which means communist, mindset, worldview is obliterated, like 1984, George Orwell. You're not allowed to think or buck the state. And in 1984, the state would constantly change back and forth, but you're not allowed to buck whatever side they're on at the time. They say this, you're in trouble if you buck it. If they change your own standing, completely contradicting themselves, now you no longer can say that, which used to be the only thing you're allowed to do. That's what they're doing. They change their mind and make you stick with it, or they deplatform you. So the quasi-governmental entities of YouTube, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, YouTube, and I say quasi-governmental because they are like government. They're in bed with the government. There's government regulations in them, rules. They set the bar up high so people can't reach it. So the good old boys that are in there already, I mean, in this case, the good young boys like Zuckerberg, they have an advantage over competition. And they play ball with each other, symbiotic relationship. If Facebook does what the government wants and the government grants them certain perks, everything's happy, except for all of us conservatives. So we got to do something about it. That's why the joint House deliberations is so important this January 6th, 2021. Because if Biden wins, Microsoft wins, Apple wins. I mean, I don't mind my iPhone, but I mean, I don't like the squelching of our opinions by Facebook, YouTube, and so forth. I use a lot of these platforms and I find interesting information on them, but they shouldn't be allowed to have such a double standard against conservatives. Now, if Biden were to get in, which I don't believe he's getting in, he would go finish us off. Not him directly, his puppet masters, the ones that pull the strings. So you could count on it, if Biden were to win, that he'd be French kissing big slobbery creepy Joe wet one, big tech, in exchange for whatever they do for him and whatever they did for him, whatever they'll keep doing for him. Obviously, he didn't win on his own. Big tech, big algorithms squashing people that were pro-Trump helped him getting a few votes he got. He didn't win, not with legal votes, in my opinion. And I'll call that a satire, YouTube. Hey, I mean satirical, saying that Biden didn't win. Hi, how do you like that satire? Okay, there, now I call it satire. Artistic expression. Talking about Sleepy Joe wet kissing big tech. That's kind of like figurative, right? Is that a metaphor? Is that a, what is that? That's a, does it pass your bar or you got to strike this video? Trump needs to stay in office. I'm Jerry McLaughlin, host of Special Ops.